the cardiovascular system in vertebrates is variable, and when we look at the heart structure across different vertebrates, there is some variability. And so we tend to look at fish, amphibians, and then a third class, which is our mammals, reptiles, and birds. Now, the mammalian heart is a little bit different than the reptilian heart, different than the bird heart, but those are sort of minor. So when we talk about big sort of differences overall, we group them all together. Now, your fish has a two-chambered heart. Okay, so two chambers. The amphibian has three chambers, and the mammals, reptiles, and birds has four chambers. So as we sort of go up the evolutionary tree, the number of chambers sort of changes. Right? And so you have receiving chambers, which we call atria, and you have sending chambers, which we call ventricles. So the fish has essentially one atrium and one ventricle. So if we look at that, we have a blood vessel coming in, right, returning from the body, and it's going to go into this larger chamber here, which is going to be the atrium. Okay? And then the atrium is sort of connected to a larger chamber, like so, which is called the ventricle. Okay? And then this is going to go out like this, okay, like so. And it will go to the gills to get oxygenated. Okay? Then it will go to the body, where it drops off its oxygen, and then it will return to the heart, sort of like so. Okay, so this returning vessel here is known as the sinus venosus. Sinus venosus. This sending chamber here, there's a small swelling of it at the apical portion, which is known as the bulbus arteriosus. Okay. So these are contractile just a little bit, that sinus venosus, bulbus arteriosus, right? But not as much as the atria and ventricles. That's why we say we have two chambers, one atrium, one ventricle. Okay? Now your amphibian heart looks a little bit different. It's got three chambers. It has two atria, so a left and a right atrium, and one ventricle. So what you have is you have your right atrium, okay, which is going to receive blood from the body. Okay, and then you have the left atrium, which is going to receive blood from the lungs, so that's going to get oxygenated blood. Okay, and then you have a one chamber here, which is your ventricle. Your atria are separated from one another, okay, but your ventricle is then going to have a vessel that sends the blood off to the body. Okay, so notice that inside of here, right, inside of the ventricle, you're gonna get oxygenated blood and you're gonna get deoxygenated blood, and it's gonna sort of mix inside of that ventricle. So that brings us to the mammals, reptiles, birds, which have four chambers, right? You have two atria and two ventricles. Okay, so you have a right atrium, which is going to receive blood from the body via the vena cava. So we're just going to put body here. And this is my right atrium. Okay. And then that's going to lead into the right ventricle. Okay. Then we have the left atrium, which is going to get blood from the lungs. And that will lead into the left ventricle. And these are all going to be separated from one another, like so. And then we're going to put little valves in here like this. Okay, now the right ventricle, it's going to send blood to the lungs to get it oxygenated. And the left ventricle is going to send blood to the body. Okay, so it's going to go to the body. It's going to return into the right atrium to right ventricle, out to the lungs, from the lungs into the left atrium, from the left atrium to the left ventricle, out to the body, and repeat. So those are sort of the basics of the different types of vertebrate hearts.